Are you all watching intently? Because she's not. There's my little guard dog for the day. Right, so finally I'm actually going to make a start on this. It's been everything, all the other little jobs that I've been doing, painting cases, some other bits on the frame which I will get to at a later date. But now I'm going to start rebuilding the engine. However, I'm still waiting on a new torque wrench to arrive. I've got one sat over there, but I need another one that does lower torque settings. So start on the lower case. All I've got is the selector drive. Fucking bits and pieces all over this spot. Says selector pole, which kind of goes in there. I can't really show. Which goes in there. There is a bearing there that's stuck in. While I've been taping and stripping down and painting, it's all been masked up and stuff, so it's never got damaged, and every time I've washed the engine it's been oiled. One thing I'm going to use is assembly lube. Most people don't tend to use this stuff when you watch builds, but because this case might sit for a month, 2 months before it gets started, I don't know, I'm going to use this. All it is basically thicker oil, effectively. If you put oil in there, it will just drain away over time. So that sucks. Let's cut that off there. So all I'm doing really is putting some of it on bearings where it might take a while before the oil pressure gets to them. It's basically just to stop it from dry starting. Where I'm putting it now, it shouldn't really matter. It should get some oil, but a little bit ain't going to do any harm. This stuff just, once the oil pressure's there, it basically just warms up, thins into the oil, and goes missing. It just mixes in. And considering it will get an oil change pretty much straight after I've had it running, it doesn't matter at all. Right, so selector pole, little spring in the top, and there's a little pin that goes into that. Get the right bit, dickhead. And that's as simple as that. Just make sure that doesn't drop out and you lose it, because it will. That slots into there. Get these two little gubbins. Which way do they go? Idiot. There's two little springs in there. Yeah, that to me just doesn't seem like, fuck's sake. Hey, what a dickhead I am. I just had a quick look in my little box. So I don't know if I said this on the other one. If you're stripping an engine down, you know the little like food containers you get from Chinese and stuff like that, the little clear ones, you can pick them up in Asda, Tesco, Poundland, anywhere like that. Wilko's doing pretty cheap. I have boxes of them, so as I'm stripping an engine down, each area I'm in has a different box. I've got I've got about 8 boxes over there, I've got a few more in the kitchen. Every section I'm on, they go in one box, and then as I'm working, I work my way through the boxes. I'm not hunting in piles of stuff, and because I hate doing that, because you'll find something like that, you see that, and then you'll go mental because you go, what the feck is that? Or you're trying to find that and it's right at the bottom. Alarm's going off. Yeah, and also if you look through, you'll find something like that and you'll go, ah, bugger, now I know. So, like I said, there's a little spring in there, this little spacer goes on it. Get in there, you little sod, you. No, don't be a bastard. Demonetised instantly. So these, you can't tell, but one end, one edge is completely flat, and the other's kind of beveled, domed, whichever the word is. You want the dome sticking out because obviously it does move against something. So sorry for the last video I did, I think it was the last one, with stripping the paint off the tank. I zoomed in so you could get a good view, but the only problem was I forgot this camera is like a digital zoom instead of a physical one. So it basically came out crap, and I do apologise for that. Obviously it wasn't until I was watching the video through when I went, bugger. Right, so anyhow, once that's put together, keep it squeezed and slot it into the end there, just like that. Got some easy hand, I don't need that much, for Christ's sake. You fucking bastard. Very nearly. Forgot to put that bearing in them. So yeah, there's a removable bearing that side, one that's a bastard to get out on this side. And yes, I should replace it. I should have knocked it out and replaced it, but I haven't. I know. Matt at the workshop just did a video about someone else who did the exact same thing. They left in a blind bearing. No, that's not a blind bearing, but I've basically done the exact same thing. But, you know, sue me. And that's in. There we go. And that's sitting in quite nicely. There's like an indent on there on the other side, and there's a pin on a spring. That's the best way to describe it, I suppose. And that'll hold it in place. Obviously what you don't want to do is what I did earlier and knock them selector pawls out, so I've done that twice now. And there should be a circlip holding in, fucking don't be a dickhead. On the bearing on that side there should be a circlip holding it in, and dickhead here forgot to put it in. Don't know why, but my alarm keeps going off, like I need to get up. I think it's the 4th time it's gone off. Right, these are actually the wrong players for the job. These are external circlip players, and really I should be using internals, but for some reason they're not there. So all I'm going to do is use these ones and make work hard on myself and actually pull them apart. And that looks like it could be in. I'd use my torch normally to check, but oh no, it's not in. I'm waiting for the UPS guy to show up with another torque wrench. He's got some batteries for my inspection torches. And then there should be another circlip on this side. What I say is that tiny one. Right, so the selector forks, there were 3 in total. See, that's like perfect up, so is that. They've actually got stamped on them S2 on them ones, and just 2 on that one. So it's 2 at the rear of the engine and 1 at the front. So you want that. So then they face straight up. And it will sit. There's a groove there. It sits in that. It slides right through. So on this side, at the rear of the engine, like I said, there's 2 more slots that have like directions in them. That's obviously because these get moved on your gearbox, sliding everything in. Just put them in, slide it. Don't get in the hole, you bastard. Right, they are loose, so it doesn't matter, and then you can just put them into place, like so. Oh, damn it, I don't want it thread lock. Bastard! Right, do I risk it for a biscuit and go and buy some, or do I wait till Geezer gets here and then go? Right, I'm going to have to stop because I haven't got any thread lock. Fuck! Demonetised again! Right, so I'm just going to have to wait a while because I need to wait for this guy. I don't go out. What I very nearly forgot, this is why I love putting stuff in extra boxes, is that. It's a stopper arm. So put that on. Which way does that go? Goes that way. Somewhere. It's strangely not in this box, which is kind of worrying. Should be a spring. The spring hooks onto this on the other end, there's a little hook, and it sits on there. Where's the fucking spring? Yep, strangely it's in MISC internal. So I always have a box. If I don't have, there's not enough in one section to warrant using an entire box, I will just do a box called MISC. It's not to say I don't know what it is, it's just accounting, it's off a small place, so that's the first box I'll always go to. Easy to fit this from underneath, and then pop up. Maybe should have used some thin tweezers, not these paddle ones. There we go, and that's on. There we go. Right, now we'll wait for UPS man. Oh, and change my battery. Right, and what I'll do is I'll change this for you. I might move everything over that way a little bit in a minute. But this is a good time to say, a few people asked me to set up a, what's it blooming called? Patreon. Because basically they've been watching me on Instagram and seeing things going on, and they keep asking, and basically I'm skinned. Here's the reality, I'm not doing as much work, it's winter, so I'm pretty skint at the moment. So they've said, well, we'll throw you a few coin. So I got asked to set up a Patreon, so I have. So if you want to add to that, feel free, I'm not going to stop you. I'll put a link down in the description down below. I'll also put a link to my Instagram, which basically gets more stuff on. I'm always uploading photos to that of random stuff going on, because I'm doing lots of side jobs on this bike and other things. There's always something to take a photo of. For instance, my forks, I was burning off some time, they were knackered. I've just had some new ones delivered now. They are hard to get hold of, but luckily they were online. I'll go all through that in a later video, but it's interesting. Having to use a 25-ton press to take some spacers off that should spin freely. Oh well, I'll be back in as soon as UPS man gets here. Time for a brew. Right, so I've actually put one screw in without any thread lock on yet, just to kind of get it to sit in the right place, because it's kind of on a little bit of a spring. Always clean your screw threads off as well when you put a bit of thread lock on. Clean the thread again. Right, so I've got them both in now. I don't put one in and tighten it up, obviously you want it to kind of move in evenly. And then I'm just going to do it hand tight. I can get that pretty tight behind, and then that thread locker will do its job. There we go. There is probably a torque setting for that, but I can't find it. Where's the other one? There you did. Admittedly, the inside of them threads should be clean because, well, it's been washed enough bloody times as this engine. But I'll always wipe down my threads again just to make sure. It's not exactly a bad habit to have. You will have moments of, what the feck is that? Which I had a minute ago. I know what that is. That covers the end. I'm about to put that on in a minute. That's actually the neutral selector. That knows when it's in neutral. There's a little brass contact there which matches with the little pin I put onto that. don't know what that is. And then that, I went, oh fuck, what's that? It's the gear selector arm oil seal. So that's just on there. I'm just going to put that on and then move on to the upper half, which is sat there upside down. You should have a better view on that one. There's more to do on that than there is on this. There's very little on this to do. So I didn't just knock the camera off the table. So we'll start again. Because it's got the studs in, I've had to sit it between a fridge and a table because I couldn't get hold of a Black & Decker workmate. So I'm just going to do it like this. So when, obviously it's upside down, so what you have to remember, when it says right, it means cylinder 4 and it's upside down. So it's, you've got to kind of imagine it that way. So it's cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4 this way. There is an oil passage galley there, and you've got to make sure that's clear. You can use compressed air if you've got it. If you're not, if you haven't got any, I haven't even got a tin of it like I used to have. Universal gas lighter refill tin. All I do is put a nozzle on it, the longest one I've got, fire it in there. Clear. Simple as that. So there's the location pins. Inlet exhaust valves. So I know I said about using these earlier. What I'll use a lot of times, crank locating pins. There's just lots of food bags, and then mark them all up. Always mark them up. I don't think there's any actual shape to them that matters. So that one's stuck in. It's not a problem though. Always take them out when you're undoing things. I need a bin. Strangely, there's some black on that. I don't know what that is. Well, what I'm going to guess is it's from the oil passageway. Yeah, that's the one. So that's the biggest I've bloody got. Right, there we go. I forgot how fucking heavy this bastard was. Right, so I'm going to sit this on the bench and just give it a bit of a clean off. So basically I just want to make sure there's no dirt on anything that's while it's been sat there. Just give it a wipe down and a spray. At this point it's a good thing to measure your cam chain. So it's 20 links across. You measure, I'm making a mess of this bloody thing. Yeah, well, it's not mine. It belongs to the house. So pull it straight, you want 20 links, so, and 150 mil. If this exceeds the service limit of 157 mil, I'm pretty sure that's within. Just check. Yeah, we'll call that 150 mil. So cam chain is absolutely fine. Now I know that it sits on this side. Sorry, which way it sits, because can you see here? Right, here is the drive for the clutch. So. Well, sorry, the output shafts and the gearbox. So you've got to make sure. Can you see here? I'm just making sure where you can see. Big ass hole there. We know that that sits into that locating pin. One of them seems to have slotted in instantly by its own accord. You'll feel it actually kind of go loose. So that one's sat in. So if you're lifting it from this side, start on this one really, because as it slots in, you'll slowly feel each one hit. There's one. Now there should be a little oil feed hole there. That's how you know you're somewhere near. And they're all in. Oh fuck, oil seal. So all I'm doing, yes, these should be replaced. Once again, I haven't got them. So I'm just going to put a little bit of RTV gasket seal on just to make sure. Now you don't want to get that on anything else, obviously. There we go. Now always have your Haynes manual, or what's the other one called? I used to use another firm, Climber, something like that. Yeah, Climber. Obviously we all know what Haynes one looks like. Climber's another one. That's for Kawasaki Vulcan. Always get your Haynes manual. Doesn't matter what you buy. Even if you have it a year and you don't use it, at least it's there for you. You can get everything you need. Nothing seems like it's moving. That's good. Looks like it's seated on this end. Why is there not an oil seal on that end? That's weird. There's going to be so much editing in this video because I keep walking away. So you take your 5 half rings and put them in your respective holes on your gearbox shafts. Once again, wiping everything down just to make sure. Now, right, this one is manky as hell, which tells me it's the outer one. Looks like it's thin enough to go in there, but I'm not going to fit it yet. I'm going to take that off and give it a clean because that is rancid. I'm not putting that in an engine. No, it's too thin for that, so maybe it's just there for an oil seal. What I will do is go to the Fowlers or CMSNL or whatever it's bloody called website. It's a bit of gunk in that. And I'll actually go and check. One of the greatest resources ever is exploded diagrams, and CMNSL or Fowlers are absolutely great for that because you can zoom in, make them large, you can print them off, save them, and then you've got them. Because you don't always get them in a Haynes manual, but you do because it's part numbers. So you can even find on Fowlers, I use it a lot. Say I needed something universal, I don't know what. What was I looking for? I was buying forks. So I went onto Fowlers, looks at the fork lowers, looks at the part number, and then it also tells you what other bikes they used on, which is great because if you can't find it for your bike, like finding stuff for this, then you can find what else it was on and it's the same part number. So it's the same part. Therefore, crack on. Right, so now, gearbox shafts. So what I'm going to do is, because this has been sat for a while, I'm going to quickly check on CMNSL or Fowlers to make sure nothing's come off the ends, like there isn't a seal or something like that should be there. I'll quickly check that now. Right, that looks pretty good. So I've got them half ring bearings in. You'll see that there's grooves on these bearings. What you want to do, there is also a little wave washer in there, so that's quite springy. What you want to do is just load up one side in the half ring. There's a little pin on there that sits in the little location groove there. Now this, because of that spring washer, the wave washer, this is pushed out a little bit, so you just have to give it a little tease in. There you go. There is one. Let me just put that bearing. So I've checked all his bearings, by the way, so I know that they're pretty good. Not that one. That one. There's no play in any of these. Some people will probably say you really should be replacing them bearings, but I have a feeling this engine was rebuilt not that long ago, well, a few thousand miles ago, but well within no problem territory. Everything feels good. So that's one in. Okay, so that's now cleaned off. All I did to clean it off was a little brass wire brush, Gave it a scrub. It's clean enough. Now strangely there was a little notch in it, like a damaged notch for some strange reason. It was protruding slightly, so what I did, I just got a very fine file and just ran it over the top just to take the point off it. And by looking at that, Jesus, these batteries are dying quick. So I know that that's my output shaft. So that goes on the right hand side. Why do I have a feeling that bearing's on the wrong way? I think that bearing's fallen off. Yeah, see how it's got a seal there? So that tells me that's the outer seal. So it came off at some point. Strangely, the other side. Ah, I see. So that's the seal that sits on there, and that sits in between them two halves. This is a bit, I don't want to put that in now. Oh, don't do this to me now. I'm just going to check the gasket kit to see if it comes with one of them. Because you can't replace them when it's in situ, really. If they did that with a circlip, that'd be easy. All you'd do is pop it out, pop it back in, and then put the circlip back on. But they don't. They use a half moon, and I don't trust it. There isn't a locating pin on that bearing. Yet there is a marking for it. Okay. There is a possibility, of course, that they couldn't get the Suzuki bearing in the past and of that size, so just fitted what they could get their hands on, which there's no problem with that. Yes, there is. Yes, there bloody is. Because there's an oil channel there. Look at the manual. There is an oil feed channel there, but there's no inlet. There would normally be a little hole in the bearing. There's no real play in that bearing. It feels good to me. So, right, sorry, let me get online and order a new one of them. So I am getting a full gasket kit. I don't know if it's in there. If it's in there, I'll just order the gasket kit. I've ordered that. That does come in the gasket kit, but I did order that separately because it was like £2, and that was the only thing really holding us up at this point. I forgot to look at this, and annoyingly I do remember seeing it and going, yeah, that's, there's splits in it, look, it's right down at the bare metal case and no rubber left on it. So I'll buy a new one now. If it comes in the full gasket kit, I'll just buy the gasket kit now, and then I've at least got it on my shelf. So that might be it for today already. Right, so having a bit of a route around, that battery's about to die any second. Having a bit of a route around online, people saying just use some good old RTV again, which it isn't an awful plan, to be honest. It fills up the little gap with a bit of damage. Sorry, it fills up the gap with a little bit of damage. Or repairs the damaged bit, I don't know how to word that. So I'm just putting a tiny drop of RTV in there. I say a tiny drop, that's quite a lot. Cloth. So that should now create the seal. What I haven't done is put the half ring in yet. I'm going to put that in after this is settled into place. Which is the one with the pin on? That one. I'm going to have to replace that battery in a minute. That's seated, that's seated, that's seated. Why is that suddenly not fitting? Because it's the wrong one, dickhead. It's that one. There, don't slide it in like that. And just remove any of the excess from there. Damn! That other battery charged yet? No, the other battery's still charging. Thankfully I have 3 and I do have an external battery for this upstairs. Right, so after that, bigger screwdriver I've got simply because it's got wider space. I should use something bigger, but so the reason is, if I use the really thin screwdriver, it might dig in like a chisel. That's less likely to dig in. Probably should warn you now, there is a lot of stuff I do you shouldn't do, but I was brought up in a kind of needs must childhood, you know. We put engines together in backs of vans before, after they've blown up between race meets. So this is, I'm just used to doing it as you can. So I always fit a new one of these, definitely, because as it sits in there, it crushes. Well, you can't really see, but it's actually flat on the ends. So I got a new one, and they've actually sent me an O-ring this time. It's quite funny. Ordered one. They sent me a little spring washer. I've got to go back to the lower half. Back to the lower half of the case. The cam chain. Oh, head's gone. And that's how it goes there. Cam chain. Oh, come on. Cam chain guide holder. There we go. Strangely, I have 6 screws, but only 3 that I know what they're for. These are the 2 for that. Once again, a bit more thread locker on them. Ooh. Oh no. Right, and there's some splash plates that go on there as well, which I took off. Ooh, do they go that way? A little curve on them, the curve goes up. Please tell me there's some bolts in here. Yeah. Some screws. 4 shorties. And what's that? Check that the crankcase mate surfaces are clean and free from oil. Well, I know they're clean, I'll wipe them down in a second. Apply a thin, even film of sealant, Suzuki one number 4. Well, I haven't got that because I was going to go and get some black, but I've got some red RTV. I'll just wipe down the surfaces once I've got it on there. Bit of towel. But I need to. This is where things are going to get interesting, because these forks have to sit on the right bit on there. So thin layer of this shite. Not that bit that's chunky. I'm just wiping down the edge because it'll make life easier to get it off later if there's less of it. So just got to leave that to set for, what did I say, 10 minutes. Just check this. Very slow. 2 to 4 millimeter bead. I may have made that a bit thin. Oh well. So yeah, I'll leave that 10 minutes and I'll come back to it. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes now. Yeah, give or take. I'm going to have to leave you at this angle of the dangle for a minute or two because I haven't got space to put the camera because this is here, so as soon as I get this on I'll move you so you can get a better view. Right. Screwdriver. That's pretty close, I should. As soon as that dangles that way. No, you fucking idiot. There we go. They're all on. Mallet. Oh, you fucking dick. Damn it. I'm a fucking moron. Because I'm reusing these old seals. I need to put a bit of RTV on it, just to make sure. Problem is, I don't have time to let this set for the 10 minutes like I did with the case because I forgot to do it. That one doesn't have one. There's one on there. It's out there, right. Stop! Rosie, get in. That is not YouTube drama. That is the tools I need right now, just appearing. I kind of cocked up and started doing this, forgetting that I need these tools. So these, believe it or not, getting toasted. These actually only came from the other side of town. I ordered them online, clicked the wrong button, ordered them to be delivered, not picked up, and then went, oh crap. And I thought, well, I had the dog, thought I'll go for a nice walk out and go and pick these up. So let's have a little box. This is from CPC. Now I didn't know about CPC. I've kind of heard of it, but never used them. And my mate took me up there. What did we need? Oh, we needed a fuse for a microwave. Considering I only went in for one fuse, I came up with a load of stuff, and then 2 days later I was back in there again. And then yesterday I was in there. So some little batteries for a little torch, some AA batteries with a charger because I need my other camera at some point for some other stuff. Well, for this, but I want two cameras so I can move stuff around. So I might as well buy some batteries for it, rechargeables. And I'll tell you what, it is dirt cheap up there. It's kind of like what Mapling used to be years ago. Sell all sorts. So this is a Sealy torque wrench, just a tiny one. This does 5 Newton meters to 25. Look at that rinky dinky thing. I like it. Isn't it cute? I've got a big gal in there. The other one's made by Clark. Instructions. So I need this right now. Where did I put the manual? So I have to remember the order that all these go in. And can I remember? Can I, folks? So it's going to be a fire it in and see job. I think I can pretty much work out. There's a lot of bolts here, mind. So I'm just going to sort these bolts out into which one's which. A little cable clamp there. I'll figure out where that goes later and just take it off, put it back on. So first thing is arrange the sizes. Oh, I remember what them clamps are for now. So it's kind of a bit of trial and error sort of thing going on at the moment. Just figuring out which bolts are which. So all I'm doing is putting them where I think they go. Some of them are obvious. I've still got about 12 bolts to figure out the holes. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting them in and putting like no pressure on them. I'm just doing it so they don't fall out and it all holds together. And then I'll flip it over, have a look on the other side because there are some come that way. Make sure that I've got them all in. There is a hidden one, so I should have a nut. Yeah, I do have a nut. But I have one very small one. I don't know where that's for. But I'll slowly go through the whole lot. Put them all on first and then I'll come back and tighten them all up. There are casing stamp marks with numbers on. Is that could that be the right one? I got the wrong one in there. So I'll do them with my torque wrench first. Now as you drop them in, you'll see the distance that they sit off the face. You're looking at about a thumb's width that way. Obviously that depends on your thumb. That must have a bit of a dirty thread. Let's check the footage. Sorry guys, I've just found an O-ring, an extra O-ring. I think it's that new one I put in the centre, so I'm going to have to stop recording and have a look. Thank God this camera was on. Right, so that took some bloody doing, but they're all in now, apart from two. And I have no idea what they're for, and I can't find them. But they're only two small little screws, so there can't be much. I'll just keep my eye out open for now. Slight problem is, my manual tells you pound, feet and kilogram, foot, newtons or something like that. No, KGFM, I don't know what the fuck that is in pound feet. This doesn't have either of them on. This has got inch pound, but and then newton meters. So I've just gone online, got a converter, and what does it say? 8mm bottles. 8mm bolts with 9.5 pound feet. That works out as 12 newton meters. So set this up to 12 newton meters. I don't know if you can see above the oil filter. 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't say whether I'm meant to do the small ones now or I can then do them all initial. I'm going to go with all initial first. So I need 1.1.1.5. And gsx 1100 chassis polster. Yeah, it's actually it should be. So that one nut I'm just going to do hand tight. And you won't be able to see is a lot of the stuff up there, the RTV sealant has squidged out. That's not a problem, I will remove that later. When it's fully cured, I'll run across it with a knife or something, slice it off. I won't pull it too much because it might just pull right through. It shouldn't, but yeah, I think she's nearly ready to go in. So I've got two choices. I could theoretically do it now, put it in the frame now, or when my mate gets here, or I could wait. And where's the microphone? Oh, it's there. I think I will wait until I get the gasket kit, until I can afford it, and I'll put the sump on and she'll be ready, and then I can transfer it into the frame. But yeah, that's the bottom half fitted now. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Once again, I've got Instagram, which is just search Disorderly Punk, and it should come up. I'll put a thingy down there. There's also my Patreon if you want to be really nice to me. That is up to you. Hang on a second. No, that makes sense. That's the O-ring for the sump. I'll sit and go through this and see if I can figure out where them two bloody screws are for, little set screws are for, because I don't know. But that's it. I'll go upstairs, chill out, or best make some dinner, and then I'll get to editing this and get it out. See ya.